Cyberpunk reality, tech that crossed from fiction to fact. Chief Technology Officer. While you were busy getting lost in Night City, tech giants were building the same technologies. Neural implants, artificial limbs stronger than flesh, and corporations with unmatched power. The line between fiction and reality has become so blurred that we might already be living in a cyberpunk world. Today we're diving deep into the most mind-bending technologies that have jumped straight out of cyberpunk fiction and into our actual world. Let's start with the most iconic cyberpunk technology of all, neural implants. In the game, characters jack into the internet through ports in their skulls, downloading skills like software updates. Sounds impossible, right? Well, Neuralink has already demonstrated interfaces controlling cursors with thoughts. The technology works by implanting ultra-thin electrodes into specific brain regions to translate neural activity into digital commands. But Neuralink isn't alone. Synchron developed interfaces that use blood vessels as highways to reach the brain without skull surgery. Researchers are developing systems that could theoretically allow direct brain-to-internet connections within the next decade. Imagine downloading a new language overnight, sharing memories with friends, or accessing the entire internet through pure thought. These aren't distant dreams anymore. They're engineering challenges being solved in laboratories right now. The narrator suggests these advancements are rapidly turning science fiction into immediate engineering goals. Moving on to another cyberpunk staple, enhanced human bodies, replacing organic limbs with mechanical upgrades. Today's bionic arms can lift hundreds of pounds and provide precise finger control that rivals natural dexterity. Some models even incorporate sensory feedback systems that let users actually feel what they're touching. What makes this even more cyberpunk is that some people are choosing to amputate healthy limbs for mechanical upgrades. When technology becomes superior to biology, the line between medical treatment and human enhancement disappears entirely. Genetic modification represents another frontier, where reality is catching up to fiction, thanks to CRISPR gene editing. Researchers have successfully edited genes to cure diseases, enhance muscle growth, and even improve cognitive abilities in labs. China has already reported the birth of genetically modified babies, sparking international ethical debates. As this technology becomes more common, we move toward a world where genetic enhancement could rival plastic surgery costs. The cyberpunk theme of genetic inequality suddenly feels uncomfortably plausible today. Artificial intelligence surveillance systems represent perhaps the most disturbing parallel between cyberpunk fiction and current reality. In the game, corporations monitor citizens through pervasive AI networks that track every movement and transaction. This isn't fiction anymore. China's social credit system uses AI to monitor behavior, assigning scores based on everything from jaywalking to social media posts. Facial recognition cameras track millions of people in real time, creating detailed profiles of daily activities across public spaces. Western countries aren't far behind, implementing smart systems that can identify individuals and predict criminal behavior. The same AI that powers recommendation algorithms is being adapted to monitor and control populations. The cyberpunk vision of omnipresent surveillance has become our everyday reality, disguised as convenience and security. Corporate power concentration adds another layer to this cyberpunk reality. Mega corporations wield more influence than governments. Amazon controls vast portions of internet infrastructure. Google processes the majority of global search queries. Facebook influences political elections worldwide, shaping global politics and economics according to their interests. The revolving door between government and corporations ensures regulatory capture remains common practice. This creates the same corporate-government fusion that defines cyberpunk dystopias. Virtual and augmented reality technologies are bringing cyberpunk's digital worlds into physical reality. Modern VR headsets create immersive experiences that rival the virtual environments depicted in cyberpunk fiction. The real breakthrough is AR systems overlaying digital information onto the physical world, like future smart contact lenses. When every surface becomes a potential display, the concept of objective reality becomes meaningless. We're approaching a world where experience itself becomes programmable by unseen digital forces. Cryptocurrency and digital economies represent another area where cyberpunk fiction has become reality. Decentralized currencies bypass traditional financial institutions, enabling new forms of economic manipulation and speculation. Non-fungible tokens create new forms of virtual property that exist purely in digital space, like ownership deeds for digital land. Meanwhile, central bank digital currencies give governments unprecedented control over monetary transactions. The vision of digital economies controlled by powerful entities while enabling underground alternatives is now our financial reality. Climate change and environmental degradation add urgency to these technological developments. Cyberpunk worlds are ravaged by environmental collapse, where technology becomes humanity's only hope for survival. Geoengineering projects and vertical farms attempt to replace traditional agriculture and modify weather patterns artificially. We're choosing technological fixes over systemic changes, following the same path towards cyberpunk dystopias. Biotechnology advances are creating new forms of human enhancement that go beyond simple prosthetics. Nanotechnology promises microscopic machines that could repair cellular damage or enhance physical capabilities from within the body. Brain organoids grown in laboratories might eventually allow for backup copies of human consciousness. These technologies raise profound questions about the nature of human identity and consciousness. Cyberpunk fiction explored these questions as thought experiments, but we're now facing them as practical decisions. The convergence of all these technologies creates emergent effects that exceed the sum of their parts. AI systems, enhanced with quantum computing, could achieve artificial general intelligence, a true game changer. We stand at a crossroads where the choices we make today will determine whether emerging technologies create utopian or dystopian futures. The cyberpunk aesthetic emerged as a warning about unchecked technological development and corporate power. By recognizing these parallels between fiction and reality, we can hopefully make different choices that lead to better outcomes. The future isn't predetermined. While we might be living through early stages of a cyberpunk reality, we still have the power to influence its direction. The question is not whether these technologies will continue developing, but how we choose to implement and regulate them. Understanding the parallels between fiction and reality gives us the knowledge needed to build the future we actually want. The cyberpunk future is here, but it's not too late to rewrite the ending. Consider the patient controlling a tablet, an early, tangible success of thought control technology. The elegance of Synchron's approach involves navigating the body's natural systems as data pathways. This bypassing of invasive surgery dramatically lowers the barrier for mass adoption in the future. The narrator emphasizes that this subtle infiltration mirrors the secretive nature of corporate tech development. These small steps are the foundation for the grand, integrated consciousness envisioned in 2077. Watch this bionic hand perform a grip test, demonstrating power far exceeding average human strength capacity. Dexterity demonstration, placing microscopic components onto a circuit board with flawless accuracy using prosthetic fingers. The inclusion of haptic feedback means users report feeling texture and temperature through the advanced linkage system. The motivation for voluntary amputation highlights a willingness to fundamentally change human physiology for technological advantage. The narrator comments on this as a definitive step past repair and into deliberate self-reinvention. CRISPR's ability to precisely target and modify specific base pairs in DNA is revolutionary for medicine. In labs, enhanced muscle density and simulated cognitive improvements have been observed in test subjects. The creation of designer babies represents the most controversial crossing of the ethical line, driven by accessibility. The potential for genetic stratification, the poor remaining natural, while the rich by superiority, is now a genuine socioeconomic concern. The narrator warns that unchecked progress in this area leads directly to cyberpunk class warfare. Look closely at any modern metropolis. The cameras are the eyes of the emerging AI overlords. China's social credit scoring system quantifies behavior, creating a digital ledger of citizen compliance. Facial recognition technology operates at speeds that make anonymity nearly impossible in populated areas. In the West, the surveillance often hides behind terms like smart city management and predictive policing. The underlying AI algorithms used for consumer recommendations are easily repurposed for social control. The narrator concludes that this pervasive monitoring is the most direct translation of the cyberpunk nightmare. Consider the market capitalization and global reach of today's tech behemoths. They rival small nations' GDPs. Amazon's control over global logistics means they dictate the flow of goods, similar to a national infrastructure provider. Google's control over information access grants them near absolute gatekeeping power over public knowledge. The cycle of former regulators, taking high-paying corporate jobs, solidifies the fusion of corporate and state interests. The narrator explains that this fusion is exactly what the cyberpunk genre warned us against. Augmented reality is moving beyond handheld screens to integration directly with human vision systems. Future smart contact lenses could potentially display personalized information directly onto the retina, bypassing external screens entirely. Imagine every advertisement, every notification, every social metric becoming part of your immediate visual field. When experience itself is programmable, distinguishing the real world from the overlaid one becomes an act of conscious effort. This programmable reality dismantles the very concept of a shared, objective environment. The rise of crypto mirrors the fictional need for untraceable, off-grid financial systems used in the shadows. Conversely, central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, represent the ultimate centralized control over every transaction. This dichotomy, underground freedom versus total state control, is a core tension of the cyberpunk genre made manifest. The narrator states that our financial reality now encapsulates both extreme possibilities simultaneously. The climate crisis forces reactive technological fixes, mirroring the world-building of many dystopian settings. Lab-grown meat and massive indoor farms are stopgap measures that avoid addressing systemic consumption. Projects like underground cities or space colonization highlight an acceptance of terrestrial failure. The narrator questions if we are learning from fiction's warnings or simply replicating its worst outcomes. Synthetic biology platforms offer the potential for individuals to directly manipulate their own inherited genetic code. The concept of backing up consciousness, perhaps through complex brain organoids, challenges the definition of life itself. If our minds can be digitized, the physical body becomes increasingly optional, a core cyberpunk premise. The narrator poses the central ethical dilemma. What fundamental aspects of being human remain after such radical modification? When quantum computing supercharges AI, the rate of technological advancement becomes exponential. Imagine nanotechnology enhancing genetic resilience, while the user is connected to an immersive digital reality via a neural link. These emergent effects mean the future might resemble something even stranger than what cyberpunk authors conceived. The narrator stresses that these advancements demand proactive ethical consideration rather than reactive panic. We stand at a crossroads, where our current technological trajectory looks eerily familiar to dystopian fiction. The cyberpunk aesthetic arose specifically as a warning signal against unchecked corporate growth and technological arrogance. The narrator emphasizes that recognizing these parallels is the first step toward informed decision-making. The future is not predetermined. We still have the agency to shape the implementation of these powerful tools. Understanding the fiction allows us to build the reality we desire, rather than passively accepting what is built for us. The cyberpunk future is here, but it's not too late to rewrite the ending. If you found this deep dive into our accelerating reality fascinating, please don't forget to like this video. Your engagement helps us explore more topics that bridge the gap between imagination and engineering. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video, exploring the implications of digital identity. Thank you for joining the discussion on where technology is taking humanity. Understanding the fiction allows us to build the reality we desire, rather than passively accepting what is built for us. The cyberpunk future is here, but it's not too late to rewrite the ending. Look at the precision possible. When external interfaces are replaced by direct neural signaling pathways, the speed of data transfer from brain to machine is vastly faster than typing or speaking commands. The integration of modern prosthetics often requires extensive nerve remapping for optimal sensory input. This merging of mechanics and biology signifies an unprecedented level of human customization. The AI surveillance net doesn't just record, it actively models future behavior based on aggregated data points. Even seemingly random interactions are logged, mapped, and weighted within the state's digital ledger. This constant algorithmic judgment shapes citizen actions, enforcing conformity far more effectively than overt policing. Megacorporations now own crucial orbital assets, effectively controlling the high ground for communication and defense. Their economic leverage is so great, they can dictate terms to sovereign nations regarding infrastructure development. The narrative of corporate control mirrors the shadowy syndicates controlling Night City's underworld. Modern VR can already simulate complex environments with near photorealistic fidelity, engaging all primary senses. The development of direct neural feedback promises experiences indistinguishable from waking life. This technology is the ultimate escapism, but also the ultimate tool for control if the overlays are weaponized. The narrator warns against preferring the curated digital experience over messy, unmanaged reality. The cyberpunk age is here, defined not by Chrome, but by algorithms and information control. What technological leap concerns you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective is crucial in defining how we navigate this uncertain technological future. We'll be analyzing the ethics of human augmentation in our next video. Make sure you are subscribed so you catch that analysis when it drops. And remember the core lesson. Knowledge of the threat is the first step toward collective defense. Don't just consume the technology, question the structure it builds. We appreciate you watching this deep dive into science fact imitating fiction. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this one, keeping you informed on the future unfolding today. Until next time, stay vigilant in your real world. Final thoughts on rewriting the ending are crucial for our collective digital existence.